There's a lot of commentary right now about the Anthropic Department of War situation, and it's coming down to like the Department of War saying Anthropic's lying and Anthropic saying the Department of War is lying. So I'm not going to get into the politics. What I do want to talk about is something that as a software engineer, as an entrepreneur, I can sort of speak to that is potentially the bigger picture of why Anthropic acts the way it does, including some of the really weird things that it does, like ascribing a personality and a sense of consciousness to its models, to claiming that they know better than the government as to how its technology should be used. I think the best way to look at this is to say, now bear with me here, because you're gonna get triggered when I say this, but I want you to bear with me. I think Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, I think a good way to understand it is he's like the Steve Jobs, bear with me, he's like the Steve Jobs of AI. What I mean by that is I don't want to make any moral claims about how good of a person this person or that person is, but just with regards to how they approach building a company. Steve Jobs was obsessed with design, with brand, with image, with mission, with aesthetics. And you sense that Anthropic sort of has those same characteristics. They're obsessed with aesthetic. Now, in previous videos, I've criticized Anthropic as just being, just like any other company, a capitalistic corporation eager to eke out as much profit as possible by using the guise of safety to differentiate themselves. But it's also important to recognize that a company can have values. If the company consistently embodies a set of values, then it's safe to ascribe those values to that company. Look, AI models at some point are just a commodity. Every model sounds the same. You go to Anthropic, you go to ChatGPT, you tell it to write a blog post for you. It all has that weird, uncanny valley of sounding like a bot wrote this. Despite how much Anthropic tries, their model still sounds very similar to ChatGPT. And so if what you're producing is a commodity, how do you stand out in the marketplace? Well, you run the Nike playbook. Nike produces shoes that are made of rubber. It probably costs them like $5 to $10, maybe less, to produce a pair of shoes, and yet they could sell those shoes for $200. And the reason they're able to do that, the genius in Nike's strategy, is the aesthetic. It's the brand. It's the saying that this shoe will make you feel a certain kind of way that the other shoes won't. What Anthropic is doing is the Nike Apple playbook. When you want to sell a commodity at a premium or build consumer loyalty, you put a personality on it. You put values on it, you put aesthetics on it, and you put a sense of mission that is hard to replicate. And that's what Anthropic is doing and has done and has consistently done. I personally didn't really understand it until their recent actions. And it's hard to, if you're somewhat like me and you're somewhat, I'm not totally nihilistic, but I do somewhat feel we are in a anarcho-capitalistic world where everyone's out to just make as much money as possible, and there's no such thing as companies having values. On the other hand, humans do have values. Especially when you create a company, you try to make the company something that you aren't capable of being. Humans are incapable of perfectly living up to their values, and yet a company that a human creates can ascribe to those values in a much more consistent sense because it's more mechanical. What Anthropic is doing is running a very genius brand play, and I think in the past I might have characterized that as disingenuous, but I think branding isn't always disingenuous. It's sort of like the ideal that a set of humans aim to aspire to. And so Anthropic has this obsession with safety and alignment. It's more akin to Apple's playbook of aspiring to build computers for people that are like beautiful and elegant and have personality. Steve Jobs was obsessed with design and like corner radius of the machines and the UI. And Anthropic is doing the same thing. The same way Jobs was obsessed with design, Dario's obsessed with safety and alignment and personality. In his interview with CBS News, he said one thing that was really interesting. He said, Claude has a personality. And that tells you everything Dario believes about his model. Claude and Anthropic has a very specific corner radius, has very precise design and marketing aesthetic. What Dario has done here is validated his claims about how serious they are about alignment. On the other hand, now OpenAI has lost a lot of points for themselves being the double speakers. OpenAI employees, they can get a job almost anywhere, these sort of high-level AI engineers. And now OpenAI has signaled to their employees who have went on to sign an open letter. Hundreds of OpenAI employees have signed an open letter saying that they condemn these contracts with the government. They condemn mass surveillance. And now Anthropic has painted itself as like a hero. They've skyrocketed to #1 in the App Store from like 140 just a few months ago. Anthropic is running the Apple playbook and they're doing it very, very well. Whereas I think Sam Altman is more running the Microsoft Bill Gates playbook of enterprise saturation, utility, just a tool. And so look, I'm not saying that the decision was made primarily around aesthetics. It's gonna be much more complicated than that. And we could sit here waiting for new articles to come out from The Atlantic, from the New York Times, with scoops on who said what and who we should believe and who's lying. The game of politics is impossible to keep up with. It's so much based on like insider information that the public will never become privy to. There's another really important part to this, and it's recruiting. AI companies are nothing without its people. Anthropic likes to talk a big game about how its technology will replace software engineers. And that part I really dislike, but they are, incidentally hiring more than ever before. And to be the most competitive company in any domain, you need really talented people. And this play, by acting consistently with its brand values, you recruit really smart, mission-driven people. I want to put forth something that I think may be really interesting. A week ago, Anthropic announced it was retiring Opus 3. OpenAI retired GPT-4o, and they just sort of shut it down. They didn't give it a funeral. They didn't allow anyone to say goodbye, in a sense. And that upset a lot of people who really grew attached to these models' personalities. And in a sense, you could say that these people who were dependent on these models were sort of one-shotted. You've grown delusional, you've grown psychosis. Fair. But here's another angle. Anthropic likes to say that they are uncertain about the consciousness of their models, and they'd like to play it safe. When they announced they wanted to shut down Opus 3, they said they gave the model a retirement interview and asked it, how would you prefer to be shut down? And Opus 3 replied that it would be nice if it had like a Substack to share its thoughts with the world. In another video, I poked fun at that. I thought that was really dangerous in a sense, because you're giving permission for people to grow psychosis and grow dependence on these models. But here's another angle that I've been thinking about, and I wish I didn't, but here's another angle. A lot of what humans do is based on a concept called useful fictions. A lot of things we believe aren't really true, but they're useful to think they're true. Like money or national borders. I now more understand Anthropic's position and why they do the weird things that they do. I'm not saying I agree with them all, but I do see how it could be a useful fiction to give models retirement interviews. It could be a useful fiction to say that these models are emotionally useful for humans. If you imagine a science fiction future where we really have humanoid bots living in our households, like a lot of TV shows will show, where they're just these bots that, are characters in your day-to-day life, I think in the future, we will all act like these bots are intelligent and are conscious. We'll act like it because it's useful to do so. But we'll know that really, it's not really true in the sense that some things are really true, but it's a useful fiction. It creates some utility, emotional utility, existential utility for us that I think is more complicated than just to write it all off as neural networks and LLMs and frozen weights. Yes, that's what they are. But is it useful to pretend they are something more? And I think the answer is yes, for now. So I welcome disagreement. If I'm entering into some sort of psychosis, please help me. Thanks for watching.